is all I need. I'm Ben Sollee. I'm a cellist from Lexington, Kentucky, and I'm an artist for Oxfam. Don't choose our leaders, they choose themselves. As a musician, I'm just here to help inspire people to let this information about climate change resonate with them, because there's a lot of things that are happening around the world. In Appalachia, we have mountaintop removal coal mining that's really devastating to the land and the people there. In other parts of the world, they have their own issues, and I hope everybody can sort of take their own little local piece of that and realize that it's all connected and say, okay, we need to make some big changes. And if I, by playing music or getting people excited, can let that resonate for a little bit longer and inspire them to keep spreading the word, I'm totally in. Their ability to just simply help. I didn't feel any of the lobbying or activism, or it just didn't feel like anything. It just felt like a simple, we want to help aspect, and that really appealed to me. And they're just trying to sort of really grow their awareness here in America, because overseas they're huge, but here in America it's, I don't know, and America's a hard market for everything. It's hard for art, it's hard for music, it's hard for ethics, it's hard for everything, just because everybody's working so hard to do their thing. But that's really the main thing that drew me, is that I just felt like it was simply, we want to help. And one of the aspects of that is the types of campaigns that they do. For instance, their stove project that they do in Darfur, it's basically they provide these sort of compact stoves that don't require wood, so that people don't have to go out and travel and risk their lives and separate themselves from their families. They can just cook right there, and they bring in the supplies and everything. And just that's such a smart way to help, as opposed to here's money and trucks of food and all this other stuff. It's a great way of helping them help themselves in the situation that they've been placed in. I think that's a great example of how Oxfam is just helping. As an artist for Oxfam, one of the ways that I'm working to raise awareness for the work of Oxfam and what they're doing with anti-poverty is by getting on two wheels with some of my friends and doing my regional touring by bicycle. It's a sustainable way to tour. It's a good deal with myself to sort of compromise for all the crazy road stuff that we normally do as artists, and it's a great way for media to rally around the tour and to get people to raise their attention, so that we can get them to sign up for Oxfam and be a part of their initiatives around the world and in America. So getting youth involved is a challenge in a lot of ways, and I think technology sort of plays the role of a double-edged sword. It can really unite us, but it can also throw a lot of confusing things at us from all over. And I think the best way to get young folks involved is just to sort of try to get them to look around and see what locally, what right there in front of them is going on. Because any minute of the day, it could be anything coming across their computer screen or their phone or anything. I mean, our attention span on those devices is very short and childlike. And I think that's why we enjoy them, and that's why you can use them to that extent to get people's attention and sort of, get them excited about something. But I think the best way to get them involved is just to simply show them what it is, whether it's a local bicycling campaign, whether it's a local community school, or whatever. Find the need, fill the need. It's a very old term, but once they start there, they're going to find people that are involved in that and this other thing, And then they're going to start working with those people, and those people are going to be involved with even bigger organizations, and eventually they'll end up working for Oxfam, or working for the NRDC, or working for Leave No Trace, or all kinds of folks. They can find their way, but if they start locally, they're likely to find the place where they're most passionate. Committing people long term to fighting climate change is sometimes a difficult thing to localize, because it doesn't feel like climate change. Climate change is this big, overwhelming global issue, but it's also a very local issue, and I think it just has to come from us folks that are already working there. I mean, it's leadership and followership, and I think the people that are already working there, sometimes, even folks like me, I spent 5 years just traveling on the road and somewhere in between here and there, and now I'm taking time to be home and support local businesses, and it's been a real realization to me about community. It takes a lot of work to build community, and I think a healthy community is a much more sustainable community, and a much more sustainable community is a much more climate change conscious community. So that's how I think localization is where it's at. If everybody just turns their heads and looks in their back and front yards, I think it makes a huge difference. For me, my long-term commitment has been inspired by I can't even tell anymore. It's just so many different things. For me, my long-term commitment has come from working with people that I love and that share passions, and that I feel like I've really got a hold of something real, something tangible, and that it's bigger than me. I mean, that almost sounds like a spiritual comment. It's almost like I have religion, I have spirituality, but it's not necessarily just that. It's like I have something bigger than me in life, and I think we all, in the way that we need to feel needed, and we need to know that we're useful, I think it really fulfills that need to find a cause, and that's my personal reason for being so long-term committed.
Tell me again about democracy.